You're watching Pulse for the 13th of July, and it's time for some Diablo news. In this week's episode, we take a look at the fact that Diablo 3 is in fact back on track for Gamescom, a bit of information on the trade-in system reveal, the dreaded alt key and its presence in Diablo 3, and more. Let's get to it. Good news, everyone. Well, good news, European Diablo fans. We do in fact now have official word that Blizzard and Diablo 3 with a playable demo will be present at this year's Gamescom convention in Cologne, Germany from the 18th to the 21st of August. The only downside to this whole thing is that it will apparently be the same demo that was seen at BlizzCon 2010. Yes, that demo is most definitely making the rounds. Bashiok said that as far as he was aware, the demo has not yet been seen anywhere in Europe. And while there are some differences between that build and the one they have now, the content is still new for the people that didn't make the trip to BlizzCon, i.e. 99.999% of the people at Gamescom. Yes, that's just some solid good news, and there isn't really much else to say about it. Check the links below for more. In another pretty big, yet at the same time quite small piece of news, Bashiok was recently caught commenting on the imminent reveal of Diablo 3's trade-in system. Yes, it is apparently imminent, that is the word that I used. He had the following to say: "We haven't made any announcements yet regarding the trade systems, but it's something we'll be prepared to reveal soon. I think it's something that people are going to be pretty psyched about, if not passionately indifferent. Is it worth getting our hopes up for a trading system reveal at the Diablo 3 event taking place in Irvine, California at the Blizzard headquarters at the end of the month? I sure think so. But hey, even if the event yields news of a different nature, I don't think anyone will complain at all. One thing that will definitely make it all much sweeter would be a Diablo 3 beta launch date announcement. So if you're interested in reading the little bit more that there is concerning this, you know where to look. Next up, some talk on Diablo 3's UI and controls, compared to that of Diablo 2. Bashiok recently jumped into a thread wherein a fan asked about the hand cramping issues of using the alt key to show items on the ground. As you all probably know already, Blizzard are going to be making Diablo 3 more user-friendly and much more customizable too. Bashiok said that they have a few different options players can pick from to display item names while they're on the ground. The default option in Diablo 3 is that names will show for 10 seconds when the item drops, and then the name fades out. You can hit Alt again to show them for another 10 seconds. That sounds like a good one to me. You can also forego showing item names automatically when they drop and just choose to use Alt to show the item names when it's held down, just like it was in Diablo 2. Then you can also choose to always show item names and hold Alt to hide them. I don't really see the point of that one, but hey, it's there. Lastly, there's also an option to make Alt toggle showing item names on and off. That's also pretty cool. Bashiok then mentioned that they're also looking at bringing back the /no pickup option from Diablo 2, but it's currently a nice to have feature and so may not make the initial release. Additionally, you can rebind any and all of the keys in the game, so you can easily make something like Tab, for example, the key to show item names instead of Alt if you prefer. One more little thing that was asked was whether it's possible to set the game to auto-loot items that drop, like it currently does with the gold in the game. Bashiok replied by saying that they still want players to be clicking on items to pick them up. Gold is auto pickup because there's never a reason not to pick gold up, but creating loot vacuum mechanics for actual items removes several layers of player decision and interaction. Interesting stuff, and I'll probably say this about all the stuff I talk about because I'm biased that way, but hey, it does sound great. It will also be interesting to see just how moddable Diablo 3 is going to be, but that's a story or piece for another day. If you want to read more about all of this, if that alt key was getting a little too much for you and you want to know the possibilities for the future, check the links below. With that done, let's head on over to the Diablo 3 Smalls. In the Diablo 3 Smalls this week, it seems like Blizzard is once again hiring a senior producer for live operations this time. You can check out a poll over at Diablo fans titled Alternate Styles of Looting. You can check out the latest Diablo cast, Hardcore is Too Hardcore, Purgatory for July the 11th, right here on YouTube. Then you can check out 2 skill preview videos, Monk Skills, a sneak peek from Force Strategy Gaming, and a Barbarian Skills preview from the guys over at Blizzport. Then over at Diablo Inc. Gamers, you can check out the Dark Library number 44, Forum Watch number 73, Old Friends and New Complaints, the latest Diablo fan art watch posts, number 101, the former Guardians of Ariat, Number 102, monsters take center stage. And lastly, for the art updates, you can check out weekly wallpaper number 93, Diablo 3's 3rd anniversary. Then read about the WoW Dungeon Journal in Diablo 3, and check out the latest Diablo podcasts, number 20, Weekly News Attack, and number 21, D3's Endless Skill Cooldowns. Now let's check out the Diablo 3 questions and answers. From information I had read, it sounds like you can have all the high level or high tier abilities if you save your points. But it has been mentioned that the first tier skills have little to no cooldown, and that top tier ones have lengthy cooldowns. So take that as you wish, but it would lead me to believe that if you only have high-end cooldowns, it might suck when you have nothing to cast. Right, so for example, the 3 final skills of the Barbarian tree all currently have 2-minute cooldowns. There are ways to augment those cooldowns slightly, of course, but you're still going to want a mix of skills that complement each other. I was wondering about the other classes and their top tiers. Will all of them have cooldowns to help prevent spamming of these skills, or will there be other factors that help prevent this? Other than something extremely resource heavy, what options can they put in there to help promote build diversity? Well, let's not get too caught up on what's still pre-beta balancing. A lot can and probably will change. But the moral of the story for all class skills is that as you move towards the higher level skills, is that there's either progressively longer cooldowns, resource costs, or both. And that's indicative of the power and effect of the skill. So teleport has an 8-second cooldown. What about it? For all we know, a golden rune will decrease the cooldown by 1 second a level, leaving it with a 1 second cooldown with a level 7 rune. Yes, or delay the cooldown from triggering for X seconds. So there was a lot more said about the skill cooldowns, and you can, if you are in fact interested, read all about that below too. Then not really a question, just a quick word from Blue Poster Kvax on how he feels about the Diablo 3 soundtrack so far. He had the following to say: I have heard some of the music that's coming with Diablo 3, and all I can say is I'm very excited about it. Sounds good to me. That is sadly all there is in the Diablo news of this past week. There isn't that much to talk about right now, but hey, once that press event happens at the end of the month and the beta starts up, hopefully, there'll be an abundance of news and information to cover. So keep checking back here soon for more, but most importantly, happy pressing that Alt key.